From the deepest reaches of the interwebs are two guys here to reveal the secret sauce in helping you develop multiple streams of internet cash flow. Share the knowledge without all the hype. It's the Internet Income Show.
Oh, I like that.
Now get ready for two regular dudes helping you become a smarter entrepreneur, get more out of life, and set you on the right path to becoming happily unemployable. Your host, Dr. Mike and Eric Louviere.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Dr. Mike Blooming with another edition of the Internet Income Show. Thanks again for joining us each and every week for the latest tips on helping you improve your internet business and taking it to the next level. So, hope your week went well. It was a bit of a crazy week down here in SoCal. Some interesting things that are occurring, as most of you know. I do, run, quote, a offline, unquote, business, and we are launching our a new clinic that's going to have our grand opening next week, and we're doing a weight loss clinic, and really excited about bringing that together, and because of it, I'm trying to get myself obviously into shape. Now we have a nurse practitioner who'll be seeing this. So I have a personal trainer that I've been working on for the last week, and I am very sore. I've had to do sprinting and jump roping. Those are things that I don't do a lot of. I don't do a lot of sprinting and jump roping. It's not part of my usual to-do list. And although I got some great motivation from the personal trainer, he says, hey, you did a really good job today. Most of my other clients throw up. Throw up! Oh, gosh. So I guess that's motivation. So I'm going to continue this torture. But if you're listening, Desmond, keep doing what you're doing, I think. But we got a grand opening business. It's just it's like in any business, you plan, and you've been planning this for a year, and just like a product launch and getting it out there. Another interesting thing happening in terms of my business is we have another business that we do anti-aging, and got a phone call out of the blue from a local anchor woman in the San Diego area from our local Fox affiliate here, and she came to our office, and we did some education and just basically talked about what we do and why people would be interested in this. And there's something obviously to having an internet business and being able to control what you do and market online and have your business and take it wherever you want and have it on a laptop. But, if you can actually apply the marketing, to your own business where you own a physical business, it really is, you can apply everything, all of the different methods that you learn here and you've learned very well. But if you have your own business and apply to something that directly, you can have a direct impact on your revenue. It really takes things and gives you an asset that you can sell later on. A physical business is a lot of value to this. So marketing to get your ebook onto the search engines is one thing. But if you got your own business where you can market on a regular basis, it's and the way that she found me was through SEO, because we optimize all of our practices, search engine optimization, because it's skills that I've learned over the years, and being able to learn things, that we've talked about building an opt-in list, building a database, and using video, and getting ranked, and building backlinks and things like that. So I've just applied that to my own businesses. And that's how she found us was, I Googled this, and I found you guys. And that was it. And that led to the interview that will hopefully be shown in the next few days or so. So, applying one thing to your internet business, one thing, but then take that knowledge and not only teaching others to market, but market your own products and market your own services, physical businesses. It can really make a tremendous impact on there. So don't ever downgrade the skills that you learn here, because you can really apply that to anything that you do. So, other things that have been going on in the news. I'm a big Netflix fan. I love Netflix. It's like $8. I think I've been there for like a decade. When they used to sell the DVDs in the mail, and now everything is on streaming. And I was recently reading that Netflix, their latest episode, House of Cards, Season 2, came out, and 2% of the Netflix actually binge-watched the entire season. Now, I just watched the first episode yesterday. It was tremendous. So I'm on Season 1, and my wife had already seen Season 1, and she was looking forward for Season 2, and she said, I'll wait for you to catch up to watch the Season 2 with me. And then I asked her, how many episodes is Season 1? And she said, it's 13 episodes. And I go, well, that'll probably take me, because I don't watch too much TV and busy, but that'll probably take me like another month to catch up. She goes, forget it. I'm just going to watch it season two anyway. I was like, okay. But I saw the first episode. It was really good. Now, how does that apply to internet marketing? I'm not sure, but I do think that the way that we are consuming information, that there are people now that everything is on demand, right? Everything has to be instantaneous. Everything has to be immediate. And there are people who just give me the content now. But I think what we learned with Netflix is that, these things that with Netflix, such as is the reason is why Netflix put Blockbuster out of business, pretty much. It's because Blockbuster was just limited by the amount of titles. Remember, Blockbuster store. You go to a Blockbuster store, and you're only limited by how many titles were in Blockbuster. I'm pretty sure you got some new titles. You probably got Pretty Woman, or you always had those few hits from 20 years ago, and that was about it, right? So they were kind of limited by the amount of titles that you can get in Blockbuster. But now you get Netflix, now you can cater to as many niche audiences as you want. If you want to watch, how to wrangle snakes, I'm sure there's a video you can watch, a documentary. But if you want to watch, Greco-Roman wrestling basics, you can probably find that on Netflix. I'm almost positive on there. So now, but you're not limited by a physical setting. And content niches, there are riches and niches. If you ever read the book by Chris Anderson called The Long Tail, came a few years ago, tremendous book. Go out and get it. Just understanding that the market's changed. We can cater to whatever whim that we want to now through niche marketing. We're seeing that same thing with Amazon, with Barnes & Noble, and we cater to specific, specific groups. If you can cater to a specific, audience or group on there, it doesn't have to be a lot. It can be just for that specific audience. It could be tremendous. One of the ways that I got started in internet marketing was I developed medical education products. Being with my background in medical school, I created specific education products, and I reviewed software, but I created, how to get into medical school. I created a product on that. I created a product like how to get into a residency. A residency is after you go to medical school, you can specialize. If you want to become a surgeon, internist, dermatologist, whatever, you go into a residency. How do you get into the residency of your choice? And so I created products that specifically focused on catering to that market. And what happened was I found out that I catered to actually a specific market, because once I started using the internet, and this is back in the late 90s on there, I had an audience specifically for foreign physicians who were out of, or medical students who wanted to go practice in the United States. and they didn't have a lot of. And then we had American medical students and American pre-meds that bought our products too. But we were also looking into helping people who wanted to emigrate to the United States and how to get into training on there. So we created products for that, which in the grand scheme of things is probably only like 5,000 potential people that our products specifically catered to. But we were able to charge a higher price because of it. And that would be non-existent, 40, 50 years, 20, 30 years ago. 30 years ago, probably, because there's no internet. But the internet allowed you to focus on that and develop businesses that cater to, it could be a very small, minute population who would buy our products and services. Other things that's come up in the news of late, I really need some news background music. There we go. Okay. What's up with WhatsApp? I'm sure you guys saw this big to-do about the $19 billion app that was purchased by Facebook on there. And I've never used it. Actually, I never heard about it until, what happened with when they made the announcement that Facebook was acquiring it for $19 billion. But it is a subscription service for IM using smartphones, and it's a cross-platform, so you can use it in different, Android and Apple and such. And I think you can form groups and things like that. What was important was that there were 400 million or some 100 million accounts. Let me see if I can dig that up. It was a lot. And the other thing too was that a lot of them were coming back. So they were November 2013 there were 190 million active users, and then in December there were 400 million active users. And the messaging system handled more than 10 billion messages each day. So why did Facebook do that? They wanted to get into access to those users. And another statistic I want to share with you, that 70% of them come back on a regular basis, daily. They check the photos and things like that. And Facebook wanted to really get into that market, and now they're going, their competition is now Google. Now, they're trying to be that in different ways and trying to get into that younger audience. Here's the thing with Facebook now: all of the younger guys, the gals, are getting off Facebook. So, I took my teens. So I got 2 teens, and no, we're not. They're getting off Facebook because who's on Facebook? They don't want to be friends with their parents on Facebook. So they're going into other different messaging systems on there as well. So they want to cater to that younger market, and they want to access to that market as well. That's why they're paying $19 billion for that. And if you want to read an interesting story, the founder, I think his name is Jan Koum. I think that's how you pronounce it. Not sure. It really is a rags to riches story. How he started this. He was an immigrant. He came over. He basically, was looking at different types of apps. And actually, I found somebody posted a forum post where he basically said, "Hey, I'm developing this app, and I want you guys to come check it out." It's $2,000, really. And he hired the one of the first programs he hired was on Rent-A-Coder. It was on InternetIncomeShow.com, and didn't have a lot of money, and then just developed, and then just got in it, and now he's a billionaire. So, just to show you, man, if you got the drive, become an entrepreneur, develop something that people want, people will join up, and then you've got an asset. So why did Facebook purchase it? Because they are trying to get access to those 400 million users, active users for them. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the database. I've talked about this in the past. It's all about, kind of database. Who owns the database? When you look at businesses and we're looking at assets, what's the one thing that they have that they're trying to, the biggest assets you have? If I'm trying to sell like my practice, what's the most important aspect of my practice? It's not the location. You can rent next door. It's not the chairs. It's not the exam tables. It's not the equipment that's in there. It's not the staff. What is it? It's the charts. It's the patient records. It's having that when you're getting access to that, for lack of a better term, the database. That's what you're getting access to, and actually the relationship with that. So if I'm looking to buy a practice, why would I need to buy? We were looking at another clinic that had a lot of records on there. What was the most important part? Because they had 19,000 patients. They had 19,000 patients that they you get access to, and they were a regular customer, a regular patient. That's the most valuable aspect of that business. It's not the location. It's not the equipment. So when you're looking at business, you always want to look to having that business and having an asset, having the database. Because what are you trying to do? The first goal of any business is to do what? Is to sell that business. That's the most important aspect that you can do with your business is to creating an asset that you can later on and sell. So those are some things that are in the news, and hopefully you listen to some really cool news music that I put in there. So let's talk about aspects of creating more into niches that we had talked about in the past, and what are some other ideas that you can do on there. When you're creating niche businesses, one of the easiest things that you can do is to actually create your own product, cater to that niche. One of the first items that I look at is to actually creating a solution to whatever problem that is out there. If you can provide solutions to problems, you can become wealthy. No doubt about it. You can provide solutions to a problem, you can become wealthy. So you want to cater to a specific niche on there. But you can also, what we call, sub-niche it. So let's say you want to create weight loss, right? So you want to help different ways that you can use. You can help people lose weight. But you can create, weight loss, in my belief, is not a niche, it's an industry. You can create a specific sub-niche specifically catering to that specific market. So it could be weight loss for, people who are 50 and over. Or weight loss for, this is a big one, moms who just had, new moms, pregnant, they're trying to lose the baby weight that they just had. Or women who are trying to get into that dress and they've got 2 to 3 weeks to get into that dress before their wedding. Still the same topic, right? It's just like eat less, move more, right? On there. But you can write for a specific audience, because at the end of the day, it's what's in it for me. What's in it for me? So you can go into, so how do you find out like what people are want? Well, you can go into Amazon, and you can go and find out what are the hot topics that people are wanting to find solutions to. So if you're looking to, let's say you want to create a product, a topic, an information product on how to make the best Italian recipes. Let's say you're a chef on there. Amazon tells you exactly what people want. So if let's say you're going to create a book. We're going to create a book. Easiest thing I think you can do, if you want to start creating products right now, is to go on Amazon and create a Kindle book. You can go into Amazon and you can go look up Italian recipes, and you'll say, okay, let's see what the competition is actually sharing with you. And you'll see different books on Italian recipes. You're not going to be the first one. You never want to go to a market, as a side, where you're the only person in that market. If you look up Google and you say, I want to become the king I want to become the guru of underwater basket weaving. I can tell you right now, and you go into Google, and there's no ads on advertising on underwater basket weaving. Why? And you might think, well, I'm going to dominate the market. I'm going to become the guru. I'm going to own 100% of that market. Well, the reason why there's no other ads on that because there's no money in it, right? So you want to go, I'd rather be a little fish in a big pond than be a big fish in no pond, right? Or something to that effect. But you go to Amazon, you find out the books on cookbooks on Italian recipes. And you go see what people are, not only what books are being sold and look in terms of popularity and such, but you want to see what are the comments. Because in Amazon, at the end, what was the big reason Amazon gets all these people? It's because they have all those reviews of what's good and what's bad. And, it's amazing what, the wisdom of crowds, right? We get from anonymity. We believe what other people are saying. Because what you can see, what are the different comments that people have about those different books. So for example, if you see someone who says, hey, this is a great cookbook on Italian recipes, but, I really wish they had more recipes on linguine. I'm getting hungry. Or then this other cookbook saying, I really wish this, but I'm very busy. I wish they had a section on microwavable recipes. Or I'm very busy. I want a fast meal. So what's your book going to have? You're going to have the best book possible. Amazon tells you how to create the best book possible by going into Amazon. And what are you going to have in your book? Creating your book that's going to include recipes that you can cook within 15 minutes. You're going to have a section on linguine. So you can create the best book possible because who's telling you? The users are telling you. The readers are telling you. The biggest mistake that you can make as an entrepreneur or an investor is to be a control freak and to do things your way. And I saw this a lot in medical school. Whereas, I know the way that I'm going to do it, and this is the way that I'm going to do it. And they spend $100,000 on, on deciding what to do, but they never take it out and never ask the public. They never create focus groups, telling you, what do you want? Tell me what you want, and I'm going to provide. That's what the founder of WhatsApp did. He went out and saw what people wanted. They wanted that, and he gave them what that was, and they made it easy and simple on there. Again, the most popular radio station is WIFM. What's in it for me? So you want to look into the different types of judgment. Amazon tells you. Other things what you want to do when you go into different markets is, what kind of market do you want to be in? Is there a magazine for every market? If there's not a magazine for each market, most likely you probably shouldn't be in that market. You can go to a website like magazines.com. You can find out different niches that are out there. If you go there, you'll see tons of different things even without possible. There's magazines on model railroads. There's magazines on running and veganism and spirituality on there. So why do I want to see, when I go into a niche market, that there's a magazine? Because what drives revenue for magazines? Sure, to some extent, there's subscribers. But I get tons of magazines all the time in our waiting rooms and things like that for very inexpensively or sometimes free. Why? Because why do they want to increase their circulation? Because they want to get advertisers. Because that's what they're telling our advertisers. And so what you want to do is you look into the magazines and see what are the advertisers that are advertising in that market. What types of... Because that's what's driving the revenue in the magazine, the advertisers. Who's advertising the vegetarian magazine? Who's advertising in fitness, in cooking? Those are the products that really can help build your list on there. Other markets that work perfectly on the internet, and this is something that not a lot of people talk about, are embarrassing products that, let's say, for example, I'm in health a lot, and say I see a lot of different. When I was working as a busy primary care doctor, I would see some, obviously a lot, everything. But one of the first websites I created was a medical advice site, really early on. Back in the late 90s, we developed this. Where you could go in, you could ask questions, and you could pay for questions. And we get a lot of embarrassing type questions because they wanted the anonymity of the web. And they were too embarrassed to actually talk to the doctor about those questions on there. Well, a lot of the questions were sexually related questions, or personal hygiene type questions. And those are the type of businesses that do rather well. There's a website out there called shopinprivate.com. Shopinprivate.com. You can check it out. Where it just caters to embarrassing products on there. And I'll let you find out in your own time to see the website. It is NSFW, by the way. And not safe for work. So you'll have to do it personally. And if your spouse catches you, just say, hey, you're doing it for research. Recommended by the Internet Income Show. Other different issues you can go into. You can look at pain-related issues. You can see what are the most. You could go to forums, see where people are posting anything related with pain, embarrassing questions. When you're looking into digging into niche markets, and if you got check out. You're going into markets, and I get these questions. I don't know where to go. I don't know what niche I can go to. I always advise you go into something you're passionate about. Eric and I talked about this a few weeks ago. Go into something that you're passionate about because you're going to be more in tune on the language of people are talking about. So I work with a lot of doctors. I help consulting. I help do marketing for different clinics. And I have the language, so I'm able to speak to the language. If I was going to sell marketing services to plumbers, I'd be in a disadvantage because I'm not a plumber. I don't know. I can assume what they want more business just like any other business. But if you've got a contact, you've got someone to relate to somebody, you're more likely to establish a rapport with them. There's a great article recently written in the Huffington Post by a fellow inner marketer named Brian Horn. I advise you to check it out. It's talking about being an authority in your market. And the simple message is when you're going into a niche or anything that you're going in, you got to, the most important thing you can do at being an authority is, and let me give you the quote, and go check out that article, but he says, people don't care, quote goes like this, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Pretty simple to understand, but pretty profound when you think about it, that the way most businesses sell things, right, is they'll give you everything. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care on there. And it gives a good example of Richard Simmons. Richard Simmons is not considered, he's not the most, in my opinion, the most fit-looking guy in the world. He may not know all of the health and the science between losing weight, but he's been doing it for decades, right? I remember back in the 70s, he was wearing those short shorts and, the red top and things like that, and sweating with the oldies and all that. But at the end, he cared. So we tell these people just crying. Women just loved him. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And basically, the gist is you don't have to be the best, the most knowledgeable SEO person. When I work with doctors, I don't say that I'm the best SEO person, but I can relate to them and I understand their problems because I've gone through the same things. So anytime you're trying to sell anything, it's not, and it really isn't about selling, because I hate selling, just like anybody else. It's not that you care, because you've gone through it. You've personally gone through it. That's the best way of actually, getting your products and getting people to purchase your products and services. The interview that I did with Fox, and hopefully I'm getting about as soon as I care about that people are going through those issues in life on there. And so the best advertising you can get, by the way, is through education and to show that you know what you're talking about and that you understand. Because at the end, people just want to have feel that they're being understood. They want to have relevance. They want to feel that they're important on there. And someone has bought radio advertising for $2,000 a week on there with very little to show for it for some of the businesses that we run. The best advertising you can do is just give them some education and to show that you give a damn. Give a darn. So whenever you're doing that, writing with that passion, it's very, very simple. And it's amazing how often we forget about that. But if you're completely at a loss of what market you can go into, one, gotta be passionate about something. But you can also look to see what are things that are popular. You can go into Google, type into Google and type, how to something, how to build something, learn how to something, how to become a. You'll find different things on there. Just put it in quotations. See what people are looking for, what people are searching for. See what people are wanting. How to become a better parent. You can go through Amazon. You can see, put in those same titles and see what people are searching for. Make it your own. Making it personal. And find out what people want. And those often are the best markets, on there. Because at the end of the day, you want to be comfortable with what you're selling. And you have to believe that your product's the best. And when it comes to, at the end of the day, people deserve to know. You've got something that you can share with somebody that'll help somebody. It really is your right, I believe, to let those people know about it, whatever product you're going to be selling. So, your business is great. You do a lot of things with it. We are at the cusp of something that's going to be tremendous. So I could advise you to keep going out there, making the best book possible. Go to seek out those people who look at the competition, see what other people are searching for. You can then use that to create your own products, create a consulting, create membership sites. There's a lot of different things that you can do on there. For my book, you can create an ebook, create a Kindle book. You can then take that Kindle book, you can create it to an audio CD, you sell for $20 to $100. Then you create home study courses. Then you create live events that cost $1,000 to $10,000. You can create membership sites where people who want information on a regular basis, and create recurring. We'll talk about that in a future call. So I hope it gave you some information that you could share. As always, you can go check out our website, InternetIncomeShow.com. Click on the link, ask us a question, leave a voicemail. If we like it, we'll put it on the air, and then you can become famous. And people will love you, and you will become the authority. No. But go ahead. If you like what you want to hear, we'd love to hear from you. Check us out at InternetIncomeShow.com. If you missed any of our podcasts, our tremendous podcasts, our award-winning podcasts, don't do any research, but I'm sure, positive, that we have won some awards on this show. So, guys, thanks again for sharing with us. We look forward to putting together another great podcast for you. As always, keep moving forward.
You just listened to the Internet Income Show with Dr. Mike and Eric. Now, get to work.